And welcome to another edition of Juice Guru Radio. I'm your host, Steve Prusak. We've got Evie Kevish coming up right after this. She's an incredible certified juice therapist, badass mom. She's going to be with us on the show. I've been wanting her for a long time, so stay tuned. Coming up right now, we've got Evie Kevish. And welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Steve. It couldn't be more exciting to have Evie Kevish. She's a certified juice therapist. I said badass mom, dedicated to helping women feel healthy and confident. She's doing incredible work in the world. I loved her segment on Jimmy Kimmel Live. Evie Kevish, welcome to Juice Guru Radio.
Thank you so much for having me, Steve. I'm so honored to be here today.
Well, I had to bring up your segment. I mean, you've been on national TV. You are recognized worldwide. You really are an up and coming huge celebrity, like I knew you would be.
Thank you.
Anyway, thank you for being here. I'm just really excited. So take us back. Let's talk about the journey. First of all, we can talk about health. We can talk about this decision to try to work your way out of corporate America, but let's talk about health. Like what were some of the challenges that led to you discovering juice, healthier eating, and all that?
Okay, so I had 2 kids in 2 years, and it was very hard on my body. I've always been athletic and worked out, but having 2 kids back to back really did a number on me. In addition to that, I am a supernatural, holistic, healthy mama, so I knew I was going to breastfeed my children, and I breastfed both of them past 2.5 years old. So it was very hard for me to lose weight while I was breastfeeding because I was so hungry and thirsty all the time. So I was, kind of started to explore a little bit and see like I was, transitioning kind of from vegetarian and kind of looking at vegan stuff. So what really got me into it was fruits at first was smoothies. So I went from eating eggs and avocado toast every day for breakfast to smoothies. And it was like amazing. Like I felt really good, full, and I was craving them a lot. So then, the power of social media, when you use it the right way, I started following people that were, doing smoothies, juices and stuff like that. And I really did not know anything about juices at all, but I just kept seeing them and the colors of the juices, and it just intrigued me so much, and I was like, gosh, I really want to learn more about this, So I started with just a blender, and I just tried to juice some pineapple and use like a regular strainer. And I did that at first, and I was like, man, this is pretty good, So then I decided to get a juicer, and it was just kind of like just a regular, nothing special. I was like, I'm just going to buy this just to see if I like it and try it. So then I did my first juice cleanse in January of 2020. And I was actually really shocked because I was like, I don't know if I can do this because I've never done anything like this before, but I felt so good afterwards. I was like, what is this, So that was when it really took off for me because I was like, okay, I want to start learning about juice. I feel good. I'm starting to lose weight. I have great energy. So let me see what's out there. And then I was eager to learn more. And then that's how I found the Juice Guru Institute.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So really it was your own experience with it. Like you started with the smoothies and you're like, oh, all right, we'll take the fiber out and try juicing. Not sure why, but it just kind of appealed to you.
Yes. It did. And it was just I was thinking about like, what is it that I'm going to be able to have that is still going to make me feel good and full, And then I was thinking to myself, can juice really do that? Because I was thinking about like the fiber being out, and I'm like, I won't feel as full, whatever. But when I started doing it and implementing it more, I was like, man, I'm feeling more energized, more alive. This is amazing, So the proof is in the pudding. I mean, once you start doing it, you can tell for sure.
So you did that first juice cleanse, and how long was that? What was that experience like when you realized, well, I guess I'm not going to starve to death here?
Yes. So I did it for 4 days, and I was, it was very hard. The first one, I'm not going to lie, because I think my mindset was in that mind frame of like, okay, this is the time I have my smoothie at like 8 or 9 in the morning. Then I have my lunch. then, maybe a snack and then dinner. So my mind was there like psychologically, but then the juice was keeping me full. So I felt okay like the first 2 days. But then by day three, I was like, man, I'm really kind of hungry. And then by day four, I was really hungry. And I was like, okay, I think like my body's telling me this is enough. But I knew that something was happening because I was definitely getting, some of the cleansing symptoms and feeling all of that as well. But at the same time, I was feeling really good. So I was like, okay, something is going on here. And then I wanted to share that with my family. So I was like, I need to get my husband and kids involved as well.
Oh, so
So,
you started juicing for the family?
oh yeah, they're all on it. Everyone has juice every day. That's the rule in our house. Before anything else, juice is number one.
So during the cleanse, were you doing fruit juices? Were you doing the green juice? Like, what were some of those initial, or, what are some of your favorite blends?
Yeah, so on the cleanse, I was doing more mono juices, fruit for sure. So I was doing pineapple. I think I did one. Well, this one's not mono juice, but I did like a pineapple mango carrot. That was one, and then just kind of basics. I didn't really know too much and was kind of like learning the ropes there. But now that I've been into it and know how to do it and everything, I would say definitely one of my top favorites and is a good cleanser is grape, apple, lemon. That one I feel is very strong and potent and definitely a good cleanser. I also love black grape, pineapple, and ginger. That's another one of my favorites. And then over the past year, really been getting into more of the herbs. And I love like celery, basil, cucumber, and like keep it all green, green apple. And I mean, that is just phenomenal to me. So I love having like strong, potent herbs in there. Cilantro and basil are definitely my favorite.
I love it. And so it's opened up a new culinary world, but also some of the benefits. So when you started the cleansing and incorporating it, what were some of the positive changes you saw?
I would say definitely a huge boost in my energy for sure. And then just feeling alive and energized. I wake up at 4:07 a.m. Monday through Friday because I work out in the morning. And to be able to have that energy to get up and to work out and lift really heavy weights, people are like, how do you do that? And I'm like, well, it doesn't just happen overnight. Like this has been a long time and my body is used to this now. But just knowing, like I said, feeling less bloated, my skin was getting clearer, my hair was feeling really good, healthy, and then just having energy to be with my kids, and then just to feel good overall. Like it's a mind, body, spirit thing. Like you feel very good, like it's coming out of you. It's like you're happy because you're filled with biophotons and phytonutrients that are giving you energy, natural good energy. So that's what makes me feel good.
Well, you really sound like a certified juice therapist.
Right?
You must be.
Yes.
So, where was that spark that led to, okay, now I'm gonna try to show people another way? What was that? Because that's, the entrepreneurial path is the path less traveled, and I know you already know that it's got the ups and downs, and this is a journey, of course. What actually led to that decision, though?
So for me, it was as I was sharing my juicing journey on social media, so many people kept asking me and inquiring me, about how do you do this? What does it do? This and that. And I was telling my husband, there's got to be a way or something where I can figure out that I can use this to help people. So that's when I found the Juice Guru Institute. And I was like, I need to do this because I want to figure out a way to help people with juice, and understand. And the more that you really educate yourself and dive into this lifestyle and understand, the differences between being alkaline and acidic and how juices can heal the body if you create the right environment for it, using juicing as a medicinal modality for people, that was what really got me because I'm like, there's so many people out here with all of these ailments and sickness and disease. And it's like, if you just knew, there's a simple way, there's a much simpler way, but we're so programmed and brainwashed into the Western society type of thinking with, the overeating, the medication. I always tell people it's like we're over medicated and undereducated truly because people don't know and understand and realize there's so many ways that you can live a healthier, better life, but they're just not aware of it, you know? And when I talk to people about raw foods and juice, they're interested and they want to do it, but they're like, well, I don't know how to do it or I'm afraid. So I'm like, well, let me show you, you know? So that's why I share on social media free recipes, free tips, and things like that to encourage people to try it, you know, to get motivated. And then from there, hopefully make some type of impact on them, you know, to help them transition into a healthier lifestyle.
Yeah, I remember because I do some of the discovery calls. You know, we've got a team that does them, but I was lucky to be able to connect with you. And you know, you did have some hesitations though before jumping in, didn't you?
Yeah, I was a little hesitant for sure because, you know, honestly, I was like, well, I mean, is this a real thing? You know, I'm like, is it really like, you know, are people into this? And then I'm like, in my mind, because you know, I'm looking at it like, okay, well, this is an accredited certification. It's from the CMA. So I'm like, these are good things, you know, and I feel that that's definitely good value to bring people into your business. But yeah, you know, I was afraid at first. I was like, well, if I do this, how will I do it? What would I do with it? And that's, you know, I feel like maybe in the beginning, a lot of people feel like that. But once you start doing it and get in your groove, and then it's like, you know, the paths just open up. The universe brings you the right people, the right place, the right time, and all of these things come into alignment. And then as I started doing more, sharing more, and putting in the work, I just see, you know, more people coming like, help me, you know, what can I do? And it's like, that's what I'm all about, is to inspire, educate, and motivate people on the power of natural healing, holistic health, and the power of juice.
Yeah, and you're pretty new, right? When did you finish the program? It's been
Just a little over a year. Last September was when I graduated. So,
okay.
yes. So,
And
yeah, I
so
graduated in September, and then I started my business in November. So, just over a year now.
So did you, when you came in and I mean, obviously you were enhanced and learning more therapeutically about how to use juicing, and maybe it took you from a different point, but also the business part, right? Did you find that some ideas were sparked as you went through the program on what you could do as a practitioner?
Absolutely. Yes. As I went through the modules, I felt like there was different, you know, I was taking notes here and there and then, you know, thinking, okay, well, I'll do this and then I'll do that, and writing all these things down and trying to figure out what exactly what I was going to do. And initially I was going to have it called E3 juice because Evie, Eliana, Alexia, those are my daughters. So I was like going to do that and then just sell juices. But as I started going on the path more and learning through all the modules, I was like, okay, well, there's other ways that I can do this, and then I can do juices as part of my business model, but that'll be integrated later. So I was thinking, what can I do right now to help people? And then that really brought me into the coaching part of it, and then also doing, you know, guest speaking at presentations, you know, conferences, things like that. So that is something I felt like was good for me now, because I know that it would be so awesome to own a juice bar. But I was like, you know, during COVID, and then I was thinking owning a brick and mortar and trying to do that. I didn't want to do that initially because I was like, you know, I don't know what the state of the world right now. But now that I have my groove and I know what I'm doing, and I was actually approached by someone that owns a juice bar. They want to work with me. I'm working with another juice bar. So that's what I'm saying. The right people, the right places and time, all of these things come together the more that you put yourself out there. And one
No,
of my juice clients actually, she told me, she's like, hey, there's a juice bar in my town that opened up. She talked to the manager there. She's like, you have to talk to my juice therapist. She's amazing. I talked with the manager, and then him and I have been working together ever since. So yeah.
it's funny. I remember that conversation of like you weren't sure if you were going to make the juices or maybe become a holistic health coach influencer or what, right? Because there's a lot of opportunity, but that, and I remember telling you, you want to pick one to start though. Like you don't, to do both would, I think would have been a lot for you, but you don't have to feel bad about bragging. I mean, there's been a lot of doors opening and things happening. Do you want to share some of, you know, in just a year, I know that you're working on a project with a publisher and things. Do you want to talk about some of the other things that are happening now?
Yeah, so I've been very blessed, with a lot of amazing opportunities. And I truly believe that it's because of my hard work and the things that I've done. Yeah, so I had just recently given a presentation, a first in-person presentation, 2 weeks ago, and it was amazing. There was quite a few people there, and just to really educate people again on the power of juice and give them like kind of juicing basics 101. I've done talks for high school students. I've been brought into high schools to talk about juicing and, to get teenagers on board with that, and there was actually a lot of good questions from the teenage crowd. I was shocked and surprised, but they were actually open to it. In addition to that, I did some podcasts. So a couple weeks ago, I filmed a podcast with South Florida vegans. They have huge, what's the word I'm looking for? Huge following down there, and they're really integrated within the Miami community and a lot of Hispanic and Black people that are vegan and really getting out there to help educate them. I've done a lot of IGTV lives with several holistic practitioners. I've been picked up by some other people to do, just using presentations or give talks with them. So that's good. I've been approached also to write a book as well. So I'm going to start working on
Hey,
that.
I think
Yes.
that's a great
So
idea, by the way.
I am so excited about this. And yeah, so I've just been busting my butt and putting in the work and, just keep striving to get out there. And at the end of the day, it's just like if this book comes out and someone says like, that girl helped me, like understand and realize like that's what it's all about to me. I want someone to heal and be like, I never knew that this is the way, so really just to
Yeah.
educate, inspire people. And as you put in the work, more opportunities will come, but you got
No,
to
and I
stay
never
consistent.
said to you this is a get rich quick scheme. I said,
You did.
it's
I'm just kidding.
but it's about doing meaningful work and us, breaking away from the pack and talking about things that people aren't talking about, and especially in a world run by pharmaceuticals, you're talking about a natural solution, and so that can bring with it, the road less traveled, especially as an entrepreneur. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going with that. I just wanted to
Well,
congratulate
I
you on
would
that.
say with the road less travel with that, I would chime in on that. So what Steve was saying, yes, there's been a lot of amazing opportunities, but at the same time, if you are a natural holistic practitioner, there are people that attack you as well. So a couple months ago, I was approached by some reporters from the Washington Post. They wanted to interview me about a shirt that I had on, and it said vaccines are poison. And, that's my belief. And I don't, press that on anyone. This is America. We can all have our own beliefs and decisions, or whatever. And they wanted to ask me about that. And I chose to not engage with them on that because I did not want to get involved with that. And, I just really didn't want to open that can of worms. Well, I never responded. And then they had sent more emails to me and they said they were going to publish this article. The article came out, and it was, to be honest with you, it was quite shocking. I was not prepared to deal with that level of people that just came out of the woodwork. My website was inundated with hate mail. Social media was inundated with trolls. And I told my husband, if I was not physically and mentally strong, like this could have, really taken me down. I mean, it was very harsh. Like people were saying, I hope you and your family die. I hope you get COVID. I mean, it was brutal.
Yeah.
So that was one thing that went with it. And then right after that, I find out that I was on the Jimmy Kimmel show. I woke up to more emails, and then I was like, what? And I'm calling my brother. I'm like, can you find this video and send it to me? Like, I haven't even seen it. I don't know what's going on. So, something that was supposed to be negative actually turned into a positive, and I obtained a lot more clients from that. I actually got a girl from the UK that was a bodybuilder, said she saw me on there. There was plenty of people that came to me that were like, oh, I found you because of Jimmy Kimmel. So glad we're on the same page. So, something that was supposed to be negative and trying to tear me down was actually really good for me. And I'm very thankful for that happening because it actually helped boost my business. So thank you to the reporters and thank you to Jimmy Kimmel.
Well, I
So,
remember thinking that when we first talked about it, and I saw that. I was like, this is gonna, I mean, they always say no publicity is bad, it's even bad publicity is good. It's exposure, and I'm like, this, you're gonna see, and I don't think you've seen the end results of it yet. It's gonna continue, and it's up there on YouTube, and there's always reruns, and so you're gonna keep reaping the benefits of what they tried, and so, there's always, like you say, two sides to every story, and it's sad that the other side of the coin can't really be talked about without being ripped apart. It's really unfortunate, we can say. But
yeah.
we're talking about a natural solution with juicing. We're saying you can build your immunity, you can get stronger, and all these things with juicing and healthy living. And you've got a lot of different things in your toolbox, right? For between exercise and you're eating. So you're eating a plant-based diet on top of it all now too?
Yes, absolutely. So I became vegan on my 40th birthday. I'm 42 now. And really, over the past 9 months, I've really been transitioning more into raw vegan. And I've noticed a huge difference within my body as well. I feel so, so good juicing, eating raw foods, and doing intermittent fasting. It works for me. And like I tell people, what works for me might not work for you, and vice versa. But you have to try and see, And I started doing intermittent fasting. It'll be 2 years next month. And I do 16/8 minimum. And then from there, I do my juices, and then I'll do raw foods. And I still have cooked vegan food here and there. But for the most part, I do eat mostly raw. And I can tell, like, no bloating. I feel like a light being, I feel very good, fully energized. And then sometimes it just amazes me because I'll make a huge salad for dinner. And then it's like, I get full. And I'm like, how do you get full on salad? But that's what I'm saying. It's like all these things are so good. And you have the salad, mixed with romaine, mixed greens, cilantro, and I make my own carrot meat, and then all the stuff that you put on there, homemade dressing, bell pepper dressing, and understanding how, the power of raw foods really combined with the juicing. It's like, man, I feel like I'm a freaking real superstar now, So yeah.
It all, yeah, it's like small, like that's why we say small changes one step at a time. You were doing smoothies, you brought in some juice, you start craving more of the healthier foods, and just maybe nudging out some of the things that weren't serving you. And people really, they realize they don't have to, they're your clients, for example, they realize they don't have to do this overnight, right? I mean, what's the journey? You're taking them on a journey?
Yes. So I actually just had a client call earlier, and we were talking about that, how the more that the healthier that you eat, how much your palate changes. In addition to that, the neurons in your brain, you think about the serotonin levels from the foods that you eat, and then understanding, like I was telling her, the less that you're eating junk and acidic foods, when that leaves the bloodstream, you're not craving those things as much. You're actually craving, I want green juice or I want a green salad, and it looks good, it smells good, it tastes good. So understanding that truly when you change your palate, you change your life. And that came from one of my modules. And I know, and that is the God honest truth, because it all goes hand in hand. You're going to feel good, you're going to look good. And overall, you're just going to have this vibe and energy, because what's coming in is coming out. You feel good, you look good, and like I said, you're filling yourself up with such amazing, healthy things that you're so alkaline, you feel good, you're not healthy, you have energy. So it's a win win.
Yeah, they always said you are what you eat. So I mean, they were trying to tell us this in so many ways. I mean, do we want to eat? Do we want to be a cow,
Right.
for example? Let's talk about the vision, though. Where do you want to take it all? What do you see for Evie Kevish, a certified juice therapist, the brand of where you're going with it all? Do you still have the idea of doing a juice delivery, juice truck, or juice bar, or are you looking to continue the path of influencer, rock star, TV personality, all those things? Where do you want to go with it all, though?
Yeah. So right now, I want to keep doing what I'm doing, like keeping my services online. I'm not attached to any type of brick and mortar. I am definitely going to be selling juices. I'm going to incorporate that into my business as well. I've met with a couple white label vendors just to kind of see like how that process works. I would love to make the juice myself, but I don't have the time, right now being a mom and doing all that. So definitely doing that. Also doing retreats, speaking at retreats, hosting retreats to, let people know and get educated on juicing, how to do it, taste the juice, and then really, just make an impact and show people, especially women. Really, my target audience is moms and women, to understand that you can feel this good and you can look this good and you can have this energy, but you have to put in the work, And so many people are like, well, I don't want to make the juice. Well, then how are you going to make changes and feel good if you don't want to put in the effort? It's like the juice is the answer. So I really see myself continually educating people on the power of juice and really traveling to spread the message. People will book me for seminars or conferences, and I'll get up there and give my presentation and show people and tell people. And then in turn, hopefully, they'll come to me, learn how to detox the proper way, and then let me show you how to do juices, and how juice can help you.
Yeah,
So,
and this really could be it. Like there doesn't really need to be more. You can build a hugely successful career on that alone. So, but it's not all golden roses and butterflies when we're taking the entrepreneurial path. I don't know where I got that, but what exactly what are some of the challenges in this entrepreneurial journey? I mean, you're balancing a lot, right?
I am, yes. I work full time. I'm a mom. I'm doing my juice business, and it is a lot, and you really have to be disciplined and organized. And I am in every area of my life. But I will tell you, initially, like, I was thinking like, oh, I'm gonna come out the gate and all this business is gonna come to me and stuff, and it doesn't work like that. It takes time. Like you have to build brand awareness, and understand and put yourself out there so people know now that yes, I am an expert in juicing. I am a certified juice therapist. So when they think of Evie Kevish, they think of juice, and if they want to find something out, they're gonna come to me to get the information, or they're gonna go to my social media to look something up. And understanding that it is work. Like I said, thinking of your brand. How's your brand going to look? What is the message that you're conveying? And then understanding the work that goes into it. I do, my Instagram is my main business tool, and it's a lot of work. I do 5 posts a week. I have to create the content for those posts, write the posts out, do all the hashtags, figure out the timing. So that's a big thing. Then blogs for my website, scheduling the e-blasts out. And these things take time. It's a lot of time, effort. And in addition to that, studying. Even though I'm done with my courses, I still, research and educate. And I'm always learning about, how the body works and, different other holistic practitioners, what can I learn from them? So really, I've went from watching TV and doing all this stuff at night to no more TV in the nighttime. It's focused on the juice business, and that's what I'm doing. So every night in my free time, I'm actually working on my juicing business, whether it's reading a book about juicing, writing website blogs, or watching tutorials or whatever it is. But I put in the work because I know it has to be done, and I want it bad. So I just continue to do it, and as I do it, more things are coming to me. So that's the reward. It's like you got to be disciplined to get the reward. And then the daily habits are what makes the key to your success. So doing these things and implementing this is what helps me continue to grow my business. My database is growing every week. I just last night I was working on my e-blast for next week, and then I saw I had more subscribers, and then I actually have a lot of people from other countries that reach out to me as well. I had an email this morning that came in from Africa, a woman in Nigeria. A lot of people in Africa are into juicing. I have a lot of people in Nigeria that are in my page and always asking me about it. But yeah, so, just putting in the work and then knowing that it's going to pay off because I know I have what it takes and I'm going to continue to do it till I get there. not stop.
Awesome. Yeah, and that is the lesson too. It's the focus, it's putting the energy in, and but then you see the reward, you see the doors opening, you see the, and it's the networking, the people that you bring into your life that's going to lead to something else. But it's true, the universe will test you to make sure that this is what you really want to do, and you'll have the downtime. It's the entrepreneurial roller coaster. You're going to hit the peaks and valleys, but keep going. All I can say is keep on track and just keep doing what you're doing, because it's amazing. And you're reaching a lot of people already, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger. So how can our listeners find you and follow the work you're doing? I know you've got a website.
Yes, so you guys can check out my website. It's my name, eviekevish.com. And then in addition to that, you can follow me on Instagram, same thing, Evie Kevish. And then also, if you guys ever, have any questions or anything, feel free. You guys, there's a link on my website where you can shoot me an email, and then send me a message on Instagram, anything like that. I'm always here for you and here to help anyone. So.
Awesome. And anything to say in closing, anything we didn't touch on that you wanted to share, or what's your final message to our listeners today?
So I want you guys to know that if you change your palate, you will change your life for sure. And knowing that you can do it, it's a slow process and it takes time. But if you put in the work, you can get there and you can feel good and have the energy that you want and need so bad. So there's a whole other way of life that you probably don't know about. And I'm the one that can show you the way. So
She recommend her. She's Evie Kevish, certified juice therapist. Evie, thank you for being here and the amazing work you're doing. And I'm really glad to work with you. So thanks for being here.
Of course. Thank you so much, Steve. I truly appreciate it.
I'm Steve Prusek, and we'll see you next time.